Hey, if you own a Shopify store and you're trying to improve your SEO and you're trying to get backlinks because you know they are the number one ranking factor for Google and AI engines, I'm going to show you how to use Claude Code to find the websites that are linking to your competitors where you should be getting mentioned as well. By the end of this video, you'll learn the type of keywords and websites to target, how to use Claude Code to find them, how to automate outreach, and a bonus automated backlink strategy so you don't have to do any outreach at all. Let's get started. My name is Borja Beso. I'm the founder of Distribb, where we help our users get customers from Google and AI on autopilot. And the techniques that I'm going to show you here are the same that are helping our users several websites that we own get close to 2,000 mentions on AI overviews and Chat GPT. Now, the number one thing that you gotta understand is how these engines, these AI engines, like to mention websites. For example, we go here on let's do it again. Actually, start a new chat. If we go on something like Claude or ChatGPT or whatever, and we say, "Hey, I'm looking to buy the best ecological laundry detergent," and we punch it, the AI engine's going to go out and it's going to start looking for different types of websites, different types of resources that may list different options like the product you're finding. And you can see that it's listing a lot of listicle type articles. 8 best eco-friendly laundry detergents for 2026, best and worst laundry detergents, etc., etc. Right? And it's going to say, all right, here's it's going to give me all the answers, and it's going to show me the sources. For example, this one here, they're listing a lot of my competitors, or a lot of the website's competitors, True Earth, Earth Breeze, a lot of brands that I know. And I would like to be mentioned on this one, on this website too, reviewed. You know, so how do we find those type of websites? Well, that's what the prompt that we crafted comes in. Okay, it basically says you're a backlink acquisition specialist for Shopify e-commerce brands. Your goal is to help me get high quality, relevant backlinks by finding pages where my store should be mentioned, qualifying each opportunity, writing outreach that actually gets replies. Now, one important tool that we're going to be using for the outreach, this is optional. You could just copy the contact emails uh, that Claude is going to give you and just use whatever you want. But I personally use Instantly. I'm not affiliated with them. There's not even an affiliate link anywhere on the description, but it's just what I use for outreach. Good for Instantly, for getting a mention here. Um, I use Instantly because they have an MCP, and I'll explain what that is, which means I can connect it to Claude, and Claude can operate my entire Instantly account without me having to go in there and set things up manually. Okay, and that's what I'm gonna share next, is how to go to Instantly. And there are several other solutions out there that I'm sure have their MCPs connected, and you don't necessarily need an MCP. You could just uh, grab the find, or tell Claude to find the API documentation of any tool that you have and say, "Here, find the API documentation, do whatever you have to do to create a connection to that API." And this is if you're using Cloud Code on a folder where you can install and write scripts. And it's just going to do that. It's going to create an entire script for you and just going to tell you, okay, the script is ready. Just go and get your API keys. It's going to iterate a little bit with you, and and you're essentially creating an app for yourself. So in this case, Instantly, the screenshot that you're seeing on here is the Instantly page where they actually tell you everything that I'm going to share right now, which is to go to your Instantly account, go to your settings, um, and create a new API key. And I'm going to call it demo, Ekbonsa, give it all permissions, create, and you copy the API key. And yes, I'm going to delete these, obviously. Then we go to Cloud Code. Okay. And you're gonna go to connectors, right? I'm using the Cloud Code desktop app. You could be using the web browser, but I strongly recommend that you're using the desktop app. You will need the $20 a month plan. But if you're watching this video, you're having an e-commerce store and you're looking to get backlinks, you probably already have um, a pro plan of any of the chatbots. And if you're using ChatGPT, it's all possible too. If you're using the Codex desktop app, but I recommend Claude. They're the leading model right now. This could change tomorrow. Everything's moving too fast on AI. Okay, so you go to your Claude account, go to your settings, connectors, and you click add a new connector. You can see I already have mine here. Right, hit connect. We're here. Add a custom connector, and you're gonna name it instantly. It's a remote MCP server, so we need the NCP server URL. Okay, and the way we find that is like our friend here says, is to wait, where was that? Is a URL where you have to append your key. No matter, I remember what the URL is. It's https /mcp dot instantly ai /mcp / your API key. Right. Again, I'll put a link in the description for that specific URL. So no worries there. And once you do that, just click add. I have mine already added here, and you're all set. You have instantly connected, and you can create your campaigns, you can create emails, etc., etc. And in a similar fashion, you can connect something like Distribb to do a lot of the work that we're going to be talking about automatically, which doesn't include outreach because it already finds you links within a network of users. So we go back to our Claude conversations. Okay. So once you're instantly connected, you copy the prompt. Again, just comment prompt below. I'll send it over if I haven't linked to it already. You paste the prompt. It's going to ask you if to fill some of your brand, like brand name, Ecobonza, URL, your niche, your hero product, etc. And then the prompt includes a long list of steps. Well, it's not long, it's 6 or 7 steps, where it maps the landscape. It understands all the type of keywords that it should be finding for something like this. Step 2 is to qualify each opportunity. I want to prioritize them, so I'm not wasting time on the the difficult ones. Find contact information, write a personalized outreach both for emails and LinkedIn messages. And it's going to give me a column with all the stats that I need. Okay. Basic prompt, you run it, and then it understands the prompt and it begins. It found 25 pages, right? He gave me all the entire list of pages. It's telling me whether my brand is already recommended, the competitors that were mentioned, the type of article, a comparison, listicle, roundup, etc. The title of the article. A lot of them are literally, um, competitor versus competitor. By the way, this is the type of keywords that you should be targeting in your blog if you're writing articles. These are what's called buying intent keywords. And they're the best keywords that both AI and people like to use to search when they're ready to buy. That's what they're using, and that's what you should be targeting. Don't waste your time on done for you type of keywords or bottom of funnel type of keywords. You want top of funnel until you exhaust all the possible keywords that exist out there for your particular product. Only focus on those. So we have the list, and then it finds the contact information. In this case, it found 3 emails, and the rest of them it found contact forms. And we're also going to automate filling out those contact forms because that's something that Claude can do. Step 4, it writes a personalized outreach for each one of them. It has all the information it needs, the priority, page title, URL again, etc., the contact person, and the assets, right? And now that it has everything it needs, I ask it to either create an instantly account. Right now, um, it analyzed some of the emails that already have connected on my instantly. If you don't have any emails, you're going to want to do that. Instantly also provides inboxes, like, ready to go, out of, pre-warmed inboxes that you can use out of the gate, which is very helpful. That's another reason why I'm using instantly. And it's all a reason of a matter of deliverability. You can only send like 30 or 40 emails per inbox to make sure that your inbox are not landing on spam. But for something like this, where you're not sending thousands of emails, you could just use your Gmail, and you can just ask Claude how to connect your Gmail account. It can walk you through the steps that are necessarily, and it can send emails from your own Gmail account. You can create a throwaway Gmail account if you wanted to. But again, I choose to use Outreach instantly because that's already what I have connected. So what I'm going to say right now is, first, create the new instantly campaign with the follow-up emails. It's going to start calling the instantly MCP or API tool, however you want to call it. It's analyzing everything that it has. It's seeing that this is the email that I have connected for outreach. You want to click allow, and you can see that creating a campaign is one of the tools that instantly has. Okay, it created the campaign. Now it says, let me fix the schedule. Default included Friday and Saturday. That's great. I need to disable Friday and Saturday per your brief. Yeah, I have a setting where I don't send emails on the weekends. Always allow. Campaigns configured. Now let me import. This is just wonderful. Every time I do this, it just feels like we're living in the future. Really, it's unbelievable. Now adding Katie and Michaela to as the customs of the contacts that it found. Click yes. Always allow. And it's done. EcoBones have backlink outreach, campaign ID, the account that it's using, the daily limit, the schedule, the email gap. Let's go and check on instantly. And there it is. That is so cool. We have the campaign ready, and when we start adding leads to it, which we already did, the two of the person of the people that it found is just going to start sending. Telling me not yet contacted. And there you have it. Now we went through the whole process. Again, first, understand the type of keywords, paste the entire prompt. It's just a prompt. Everything's a prompt now. And that's just, it's so helpful. Space a prompt, filling in your business details. It uses the buying intent keywords, finds the contacts. Now I want to share with you one way to automate the entire thing. If you don't want to be doing any outreach, doing any of this work, you can use something like a backlink exchange, like the one we have on Distribb. What is a backlink exchange? It's a network of users that are writing content for their websites using something like Distribb or maybe their own methods, and they are pushing their content through the backlink exchange network, which means every time someone publishes an article, the system matches that person with someone else on the network and gives them a backlink. When they publish, you get a backlink. When you publish, they get a backlink. You can see all the backlinks that you have earned, how your domain rating is doing, the velocity, which means how many backlinks per month you're getting, and the longer you stay, the more backlinks you get. It's really a shortcut for boosting your SEO authority. If you're going to give it a try, there's going to be a link in the description for a free trial. And if you have any questions, just reach out. And there's a wonderful feature that we added recently that tells me, how close I am to getting as many backlinks as some of my competitors, and it explains the strategies that we use to get you backlinks. Like, for example, as you saw, listicles are a big thing, right? Getting featured on listicles. So what we do is we find matching partners in the network, and we planned listicles where partner B is going to be mentioned on partner A's listicle, making sure that both partners are contextually relevant but not competitors. And the second strategy is for things like roundups or versus or just traditional editorial backlinks, and you can see what's planned, what has already been done, what's coming. You can add forbidden domains in case you never ever want to link to a certain website, which is fine. And you can edit your clusters or change the clusters. In our particular case, Distribb itself is a marketing and sales tool in the United States, and we have a DR of 46, which means we are in this range.